Mike, it's the second game in a row we've seen you go to that smaller lineup kind of in crunch time. What about it works, and maybe what about it do you need to expand, whether it's more personnel you can fit in there or more that lineup can do as the season goes forward?
I'm going to play guys that want to play and play the right way. And the last two games, that small lineup coming down the stretch was pretty good for us. So, I don't know if we'll live with it the rest of the season, but they keep making plays down the stretch, I think it'll be okay for us.
Jeff, on your right, Mike.
Hey, Coach, obviously it's just the second game of the season, but what do you want the offense to look like? There were times it's obviously looked listless at times. What's it supposed to look like?
Well, more ball movement, more pick and rolls. We played well, I think, enough to where we got enough in the paint. We got 36 points in the paint. That's pretty good for us. We haven't shot the three ball very well, and we're not getting very many fast break points. Which we had in our first couple of exhibition games, we were out running, and that's where we got to get to. But when you're taking the ball out of the net and having to walk it down and not getting stops, because I thought there were times we didn't switch correctly, didn't switch up, and they were shooting 3-point shots right in our face. And they made them. So, it's a part of the game, but I thought for the most part we played pretty good basketball. Defensively, they scored 64 points. That's kind of in the neighborhood of where we want to be per game. But we got to get better.
Mike, on your left and Todd.
Yeah, Mike, in terms of McKenzie, only played a couple minutes in the second half. What do you want to see more from him to get him those minutes down the stretch? I know you kind of were talking about that earlier.
I just want to see more from McKenzie, more from Caleb, more from CJ. I want to see more when they're in the game. And, if I don't feel like they're giving it to me, I got to go somewhere else and get it.
Todd, on your right, and Jack.
Mike, you shot a good percentage tonight, but only 43 field goals overall, or 4 field goal attempts overall. Seemed like the ball was sticking a little bit. What do you do to try to get the ball moving in the half court?
Got to move it. We got to trust each other. We catch the ball, and the first thing we think about is putting the ball down on the floor, making a play for myself. And this is a team game, a team sport. So we have to trust each other, and that's my job to get them to trust.
Jack, on your left, and Mike.
Yeah, following up on McKenzie, I guess, what is he not doing to get those minutes, and what does he need to improve on to kind of contribute more for this team?
He's got to play harder and do the things that we want done on both ends of the floor. And that might keep him in the game.
Mike, row 2.
Coach, when you're going with your bigger lineups, do you feel like that is a group that can learn how to defend the perimeter over the course of the season? And what with them would you say is a challenge right now?
Well, I think Malik has done an adequate job in defending on the perimeter. I just don't like putting Malik and Ware in pick and roll situations where the guy knocks the ball handler off, and now they're stuck with having to guard the ball, and it's not fair to them. So a lot of that is on the guy that's on the ball. We got to get better in pick and roll coverage and getting over the ball screen and guarding, taking on us to guarding your own guy. And I thought last season we were good in that neighborhood, but right now we still got a ways to go.
Mason right front, and Zion.
Coach, it seems like with Khalil, he really likes to get going in the second half, but is there something that you guys can do offensively to maybe get him in the rhythm more or earlier in the game?
It's just not Khalil in the first half. That whole unit has stunk the last two games in the first half. And, when you put a starting five out on the floor, you expect them to get you off to a great start. And we haven't done that the last two games, and I got to figure that out.
Zion on your left, last one.
Mike, just how do you emphasize getting out and running more? I know after one of the exhibitions you said, that's how you feel like the game should be played. So how do you make sure when you guys are out there you're playing that way?
Well, the game is like this. If you get stops and you rebound the ball, you have an opportunity to get out and fast break and make plays. If you get in past the lanes and you get easy steals where you can generate offense that way, It's a quick way to get out and play faster. Right now, we're not doing none of those things. We're not getting stops. We're not getting the ball out and getting up the floor and playing faster. So those are things that we can build on. We can continue to work at, but we can't just live in a half-court game this season. I mean, I want to play faster, and I got to get us to doing that because we're not doing it yet.
All right, thanks, Coach.